Hold up. This isn't some cheesy kid show. This is Kids in the Tank, a young perspective on business from high school students.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to Kids in the Tank here. My name's Kevin. Here with me is Alexia and Troy.
Hi.
And today we're honored to have Jeannette Grayson here with us. Jeannette Grayson is the manager, or is the organizational manager of effectiveness at Aurora Health Care, and she's also the HR business partner. Jeannette Grayson, you're officially in the hot seat.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, hi, I'm Alexia.
Hi.
Did being able to speak another language help you receive a job in human resources? And how important is being bilingual in today's society?
So I don't think my years of French helped me too much because it's not a language that's really necessary in our world. But we do look for candidates and professionals who have Spanish because that's a really useful second language in the healthcare environment.
Hi, my name is Troy.
Hi, Troy.
How does the work culture and work atmosphere influence productivity in the workplace?
I think it has everything to do with productivity. When people are happy and engaged and feel a sense of teamwork and like working with each other, they work harder, they give more discretionary effort, and they have more fun.
Oh, okay.
So it's really important.
Okay.
Hi, Jeannette. I'm Kevin. So what are the toughest parts of being in HR, and what are the benefits?
The toughest parts of being in HR, we have to sometimes deliver difficult conversations when someone's employment or performance is not really meeting expectations, and that's a hard message to share with them, especially if they're trying very hard. But the benefits are when you see them hear that or to grow and move on from that and really achieve their career aspirations and do well, that's really the benefit.
Now, another question for you. What are some stories where you've seen people like aspire to great things from where you've been? What are some people that you've seen grow in HR? When you were working there, are they somewhere higher because you helped them out?
But that's a great question, and that's my dream, actually. That would make me feel good every day. I've seen, we bring in nursing assistants. We see them go through their nursing program. We see them become nurse externs while they're in their graduate portion of that before their license comes in. And then we see them join the team that they've been part of. And really, it's awesome to see how the nursing unit teams rally around these folks as they bring them along as sort of the newbies on the team. I've seen that happen over and over again, and I think that's probably the most fulfilling.
How did the HR sector and the hotel and hospitality industry differ from the HR sector of Aurora's in the healthcare industry?
So that is so funny. They overlap so tremendously. So I think it's not an accident that hospital and hospitality are like almost the same word, in that we try to make sure that our guests and or our patients are treated and that we maximize their comfort, whether they're there for a vacation or a relaxation or they're there for healthcare. We want them to feel like they're home, they're cared for, and they're safe.
Another question for you. What made you decide to go back to school and get your master's in HR? And was there a certain ceiling you couldn't get past without this certification anywhere in your field?
You know, that was actually just a personal goal for me. I was the first person in my family to graduate with a college degree.
Oh, okay.
And I love learning. I think life is all about learning, and it's a lifelong adventure. And having a master's just was a personal goal for me to say that I could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It did open doors.
Oh, okay.
No doubt about it. For me as a career-wise and for a
Okay.
leadership position, it definitely opened. It was more a passion of a personal goal.
Okay, so and would you say in your position, getting that degree that you got, would that put you in a better position than other people who may have not gotten the same level of schooling as you?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it does give me a leg up. I have a small regret that I didn't do an MBA and I did a master's in HR instead. But then again, I don't like finance, so that's probably why I didn't do
I
it.
mean, who does?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I have another question for you. Are there some programs or internships at Aurora for anyone interested in going to the medical field?
They're all over the place, and that's the funniest thing is we actually just hired an internship coordinator because we found that we had so many different people doing internships and shadowing and residencies and just all these different layers of either exploring or early in their career. And so we finally hired somebody who's going to help coordinate that now, because as the largest employer, we really should be helping grow all of that talent that we're going to need. So I'm really proud that we have that. And so we have opportunities in anything that you want to see.
Okay, and are there some like different levels of internships? Like some levels that like someone could in a high school student could start, and then in college they can continue on and move up in their internships.
So in healthcare, there's a bit of a thing about having minors in the workforce, because there's a safety issue around some of that.
Oh, okay.
So we do have to be mindful of that. So we tend to get more involved after high school, but yeah, we have every opportunity. So we can connect you up with every specialty, every department, every type of physician. Absolutely, and we would take that at any level once it would matter to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So my next question kind of plays off the other college-related question I had. It asks, did college prepare you for your career? And specifically, do you use your major for what you're doing now in like your everyday workplace?
So no, I think so I'm lucky. I think it was half panic and half strategy that I ended up taking my undergrad degree and actually finding a focus for that being in HR. Industrial organizational psychology is not very well known, and it was pretty obscure even at Parkside. But I knew that I wanted to work with people at the time, and I knew I wanted to be in the business environment, and I loved training and development as a piece. So it kind of just sort of happened, and I think that's the beauty sometimes. But I had good coaches and I had good guidance counselors in college too, helping me.
That's good.
All right. Thank you for answering our questions. We'll now be moving on to our next segment, Flip It.
Oh.
So this segment is you're going to be asking us the questions. So, all right.
Yeah.
Take the shots.
So
We're ready?
Yeah, I'm so curious. I'd like to know from each one of you, like, how are you navigating deciding what you want to be when you grow up? And I use that term in the most affectionate way, right? That it's not that you're kids or anything like that. But how are you getting through all of the maze of opportunities and careers and professions and finding the sweet spot for you?
Okay. Well, I got a unanimous vote. First off, what I dream to be is like a computer software developer and computer software applicationist.
Okay.
And for me, I've always kind of liked tinkering with like computers and software and how it looked. I'm addicted to my phone, so I'm on software and social media constantly. So I decided to somewhat pursue that, and because I did like math and science in high school, so it somewhat intrigued me. And now my kind of plan is to go to college, pursue a bachelor's degree in computer software development at UW-Whitewater. And hopefully through my connections with that, talk to professors and go to different job fairs and try and get an internship, hopefully at Epic, because I think I like the health-related field too, because I feel like I like helping people.
Yeah.
But that would be basically the next step when I'm in college, to try and find an internship, and hopefully wherever that lands me, hopefully build up. And then from there, get a good job as being one of the top computer software developers in my field or whatever I do.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank
Good.
you.
Well, since I was younger, I've always wanted to do something in like the medical field. So I like, at first I was like, oh, I want to be a OBGYN, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I was like,
Baby doctor.
yeah. But then I don't know, I just started high school, and like we did this thing, it's like career cruising.
Oh,
Like it helps you
Yeah.
get jobs and stuff. And I really looked into like physical therapy, and it's like I want to help, like he said, like helping people like from a car accident or just something that went wrong, and I need to get them either moving again or anything like that. So I will be a senior, and like I'm already looking at college applications, and you had mentioned lacrosse. So I was looking at that actually.
Oh, good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
What about you,
And
Kevin?
I have a little bit of two stories, a little bit of your guys. It's just like I also just want to go into the medical field like you. I want to help people. I want to grow, and I want to become something above myself or above what I thought I could be. And what I want to do personally is I want to aspire to be a surgeon.
Okay.
Yeah, because I see surgeons as like powerful figures of respect and like intelligence, and just I see them as amazing people, and that's what I want to aspire to be. And also, I wanted to get involved in the medical field because one thing is helping people, and another thing is I want to be financially stable.
Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I,
Okay.
And because it's a little bit of a story, but I'll just skip it and get to the good parts. So my family just came to America practically with nothing.
Okay.
We came in here, we were alone, completely alone in a country we didn't know anything about. We just knew we wanted to be better. We wanted to improve our life. We wanted to get better and aspire to something great. And my brother, I'm proud of him. He's in college. He's also going to UW Whitewater
Ah,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
for international business. And it's like, it's insane to think, but we're just growing up from nothing. And it's like, we're creating something from nothing. It's like breaking the laws of physics. And I want to grow up to be a surgeon just because to have nothing and to have everything is a complete life change. And I want to have that for me and my family and for everything else in my future.
Going from nothing to shooting for that like top spot in the
Exactly.
Yeah.
field, as
Yeah.
high as you can go.
Because
That's
the
nice, man.
surgeons are the most revered. Are
Oh,
you okay
yeah.
with blood?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Kind of a
Wait,
requirement
there's
for
blood?
that one. There's a lot of blood in surgery. I was going to say. Yeah. So, trying to figure that out, I think, was impossible for me when I was in high school, and I didn't have good people that were. That sounds terrible. I didn't have people who were pushing me, and so who do you find to be your mentors, your pushers, the people that are inspiring you?
Well, I have one really big mentor I have to thank, and her name is Mrs. Butita. And she was my high school chemistry teacher, an AP chemistry teacher, and she's by far one of my favorite teachers that I've ever encountered. And she has a love for teaching kids that is pretty much unmatched. She's, the person you hire because she loves her job, not because they want to go on to be a professor and do research and stuff like that. She literally loves doing what she does. And she recently retired, and I congratulate her, and I do miss her a lot. But I do try and stay in contact with her. And she was the one that she showed an interest, and this is no knock on my parents, but she showed me an interest in other people caring about what I wanted to do. Most teachers just like, okay, A, B, this is your grade, get out of my classroom, don't talk, don't eat, kind of thing. She was actually invested, and I remember one day after school, she actually sat down with me, and we called a Milwaukee School of Engineering, and she sat down with me on the phone with one of the advisors there and talked about different scholarships I should get and what I should do to become in that. I've never encountered a teacher that would
that's
do that.
amazing.
And that's amazing. And carrying that with me, it makes me, I understand that people do care about what I do, and it made me really realize that I should care about what I do. So now I do, and I owe a lot of it to her. So having a mentor like that, I guess, really helps me with decision making and what I'm going to do.
Wow, that's
So thank you very much, Miss Sophia. I know you're out there. I know you'll see this.
I think for me, it's my parents. Like Kevin, my parents came to this country when they were really young, and they came. I guess my dad came to work. My mom moved with my grandma, so then they were really young and they started working here, but they didn't both of them. They didn't get a further education from they didn't go to college or anything. So I'd be I'm the oldest, and they really push me. They're always on me about pursue your dreams, and we know you can do it, you're smart. And they just anything that I go with, they really just they never put me down on it. They're yeah, you can do it. And I feel that just really encourages me to try even harder. And I feel I want to do it to make them proud.
Yeah.
Super supportive
That's
parents you
awesome.
have.
My parents support me a lot, but I don't think I really have a mentor or anyone that is really, I think, has tried and pushed me. My parents, obviously, they love and care for me, but they I think they're a bit overprotective, so they try and keep me out of a couple things just so I don't burn myself out.
Okay.
So my parents, they will love and care for me their entire lives, and I will love and care for them for my entire life. And yeah, I'm not sure if I have a mentor or.
That sounds like your brother's been inspiring you too, though.
He has.
In the progress he's made so far.
I look up to my brother. I know a lot of people think my brother's a bit strange. He's a character all to himself. I love him to death, and he's he has made me so proud. I've always was worried about him because he was never really the extrovert kind of type of person. He was always kept to himself. I think you guys know already.
Oh yeah.
He's kept to himself. He's really smart guy, and
Yeah.
I want to be on his level, I guess. So I don't think I have a mentor, but I think I have a goal set and a mindset up to a person I want to be like, and my brother is definitely one of those people I want to be like.
Would you say that like you have this self-driven motivation within yourself then? Like you kind of view yourself as your own mentor trying to get yourself through this position?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
That's good. You have a fire in your belly.
Oh yeah, it definitely helps.
That's good. So then another question I would have for you guys is I think about it as an employer, and you represent the millennial generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do an employer need to know about your generation to help you in the workplace?
We're not aliens.
We're not aliens.
We're
Aliens.
We're people.
We're people.
We do have feelings. We are not lazy, but I do feel like as a generation we're very intuitive and very innovative with the stuff that we do. And I feel like the stereotypes that older businesses and older generations put on us, like we're lazy, we don't really want to do, we're sensitive, always on our phones. But guess what? I bet y'all have a smartphone. I bet everyone in the next 10 to 15 years will probably have a smartphone. I know you've been looking at iPhone 8. I was going to say, I know people have been looking at iPhone 8, and you'll be calling us when you don't know how to work it. So
That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah, I just generally feel like there's a lot of bias that millennials have to overcome. You know, it's almost like being a minority in a workplace that you're a millennial. So
Yeah, because like the generation before us, there was huge struggle just to be successful. And and I feel like the millennial generation doesn't realize that at some point. And I think that's why we get the bad rep for what we have. It's like, oh, we're lazy. We're not grateful for what we have. But like, we don't have to have that huge struggle as much as we needed to before.
Exactly.
And we do struggle. We don't struggle as much, and we are extremely grateful for it. But I don't think that would make us lazy for not struggling as much as the past generation.
yeah, there's just not enough like.
It's just completely different traditions and like
Oh
a
yeah,
huge culture change is what it was.
definitely.
So as a mom of millennials, I appreciate that, right? I see that they're struggling against some of those too, and so just helping them, I think it's an understanding and appreciation of the different generations' perspectives, and neither one are wrong or right. They're just different, and so how do you get them together? How do you share them? And how do you understand each other a little bit better? And you're right, because they do help their grandma with her Facebook and her how to navigate her smartphone, and she wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh yeah, I feel like, and I mean I don't really know that much about the topic, but I do feel like big businesses have that overwhelming stereotype on like millennials, and they won't work as hard as the other people because they know that they feel like they're young, and they feel like we're self-entitled. I've heard that word a lot, but
self-entitled generation, the me generation.
Yeah. No, so there's also a concern that the generation is, I don't want to say less loyal, but where do you guys think the loyalty fits with, our parents worked at the same company for 40 years. Me, I don't work anywhere longer than 5 years. So where do you guys feel like you are on that spectrum? And is it a generational thing or is it a personal thing?
I feel like it may be a generational thing. I view our loyalty as when we find a job that's super good to us, we'll stick with it. But I feel like being brought up on the social media generation, like, oh, there's always these new trends, there's always these new things.
Things are always so fast-paced.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you stick with one thing when there's this brand new other thing that you could be participating in?
We get bored.
Exactly. Short attention spans.
So do you think that you're used to more rapid change, and so you get bored more easily, and that comes across as
disengagement, not really caring about the future of the company? I could say that people might view it as that. But.
So as a company, we need to keep you energized and excited and challenged with new things.
Exactly, and keep us entertained. I mean, think about it. Like these millennials, all those office jobs that people are like.
Epic?
Yeah, like
Epic,
exactly. Like the Google offices, all those people sitting in cubicles that just, it's not appealing to us. Before they had to do it because they needed a job and they find it interesting, but to us, we, like you said, we have short attention spans. We need slides to get around places. We need bikes to go to work, and we need cool vending machines that drop off all these snacks you've never heard of, and just little things like that. And I feel like Google and like Qualcomm and like Epic catering to those things kind of really brings in
Yeah.
a new age of millennials that want to work. And when they see that, they're like, oh, man,
They're
I kind of want to do
engaged,
that.
they're
Which is
like-
exactly what happened
Yeah.
to me. I was like, I like computer software, but I don't want to sit in a cubicle for like 10, 12 hours a day coding.
Yeah, and you
Like, let
shouldn't.
me slide down a slide for like 25 minutes on my break. Like, at least give me that.
What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge or hurdle for you as you go into your college years? What are you most worried about, scared about?
From being a new freshman at UW Whitewater, I haven't gone there yet, but I'm moving next week. I'm really scared. Whitewater may not be the biggest university, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest fears is not taking advantage of the opportunities that may be presented to me because I may be distracted by other things that I guess aren't really important or don't matter.
Okay.
And that's what I'm scared. I'm scared about missing the opportunity that's going to take my career and my passion to like the next level, because I don't want to get stuck talking to somebody about this one internship when the CEO of Google walks by, and I spend too much time talking to this person and completely invested in one thing. I have to constantly keep looking at the future, and I just feel like I'm scared and I don't want to get stuck in that rut of a job that I don't want.
Okay. I think half of not getting that is being aware of it.
No.
Yeah.
So
I
hopefully.
think I'm kind of nervous because I'll be the first one from my family going. So it's like, I don't want to mess up. So I'm kind of scared to like right now I'm so set on physical therapy, and I'm actually really excited. And I was excited that you were here when you started like talking about all those positions and stuff. So I'm scared to go to college and like start, and then end up finding it so boring and not liking it. I'm just like, no.
Oh, yeah.
And then starting over, and I don't know.
So it's not uncommon for college kids to change their majors, right?
Yeah.
To
Apparently
change
3
direction
times.
once you start exploring all these other things.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Take advantage of your internships or your shadowing opportunities to really confirm them before you get too far down a path that you feel like you can't change
Right.
from there. What about you, Mr. Gavin?
I think I'm scared of the money.
that's
the amount of the
that's
cost
the
just
thing.
terrifies me.
Yeah.
Because I look at how much I'll be in debt, and
Yep.
it's a little mind shattering and stressful just to even think about it.
Right.
But once I'm there, I know it's gonna be even more stressful.
Start working right now.
Yeah, I am.
Start saving up that money.
Yeah,
'cause-
2 jobs right now waiting for it. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
well that's good.
And it's
But you know what, though? You have to consider it an investment in you.
yeah.
You're
Miss
investing in
Lawson?
your own future.
Okay, Miss Lawson's.
Miss
Miss
Lawson.
Lawson actually spitting words of wisdom out here. She said that to us in class. Okay, I remember that. Gotta invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that business concept.
Don't
Yep.
don't call it debt. Call it investment.
Investment, not debt.
Yep.
Investment,
Not
not
that
debt.
crippling debt into
Investment.
investment.
Especially if you're thinking medical school, because you cannot even look at those numbers
Oh, yeah.
because
Just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It'll make you run and hide.
Yeah, maybe middle school is not my thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Triple
it is
digit debt.
overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
But luckily, the payout is good if you can get all the way to the end,
Oh yeah.
Just
Be
a
in a
race to the
position.
end.
Oh,
Gotta
yeah.
make it.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, do you have any more questions for us at all?
I think I'm good.
You good?
Yeah. You guys have been very, very forthcoming with your answers. I appreciate your honesty.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So, Jeanette, thank you for joining us in the studio and answering all our questions.
Thank
really
you very
good.
much.
Yeah,
Thank
giving
you.
us your insight on.
It's very
Yeah.
helpful.
Oh, good.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it was.
actually, learned a
Yeah.
lot.
Good,
I
good.
learned a lot.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So a quick shout out to Jeannette Grayson for being our guest at Kids in the Tank. Thank you so much. Now, before we move on to our next segment and our last segment, we need to quickly thank our sponsors because we need to beg for money now. All right. So
Right.
For
put on your
25
pouty
cents a
faces,
day.
guys.
For 25 cents a day,
25 cents a day.
you can provide accurate business education to a young person that doesn't know what's going on in the business world. Please help us today.
Prestige Paints is changing the way you buy paint. We're the #1 selling brand of interior and exterior paint on Amazon.com. And with the help of our app, Prestige Color Pick, we're making paint buying a whole lot easier. With the app, you can take a picture of your wall and then virtually paint it with any of our 2,400 plus colors. And now you can try our competitors' colors on your walls too. Once you find the color you love, you can purchase it from Amazon right through the app, saving yourself a trip to the store. Prestige Color Pick is free and available through the App Store and Google Play. Live colorfully and design your life with Prestige.
Hi, this is Mike Butler with Elkhorn Chemical and Packaging. We've been in business for 65 years. We're located in Wisconsin. We represent the janitorial, packaging, safety, and maintenance categories. We sell to small businesses all the way to large corporations. So, if you're in need of a cleanup in aisle 9, give us a call at 800-377-3556 or check us out at elkhornchemical.com.
Hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome back to Kids in the Tank. We are now entering our third and final segment, the Roundtable, where we will be discussing today's hot topics and trends. Well, let's just start it off with Dunkin', or is it Dunkin' Donuts?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Apparently, they're changing their name. They're trying to change the name from Dunkin' Donuts to maybe just Dunkin'.
yeah, which I don't get.
Now,
Like,
why would you go from a name that explains what you're selling to a name that it doesn't explain what you're selling at all?
yeah, you're taking out the donuts out of the equation. I don't like that.
Dude,
I
Are they
mean,
gonna
like, what are
stop?
we dunking?
Exactly. Dunkin' Nuggets, like drink. Like, I'm
Are they
confused.
gonna stop selling donuts altogether?
That,
too?
yeah,
You know?
conspiracy theory. Maybe they just don't want to sell donuts anymore.
Yeah, they're just like,
It's a bad decision, by the way.
honestly, like another bad decision. So,
Oh yeah.
did you guys hear about that guy at Google who got fired for sending an anti-diversity memo?
Ooh.
So like he wasn't like a racist or like anything like that,
okay.
but what he did is like he made an article explaining the wage gap between guys and girls, or like what men and women, or however you want to say it. And it's like he pretty much narrowed it down
Narrowed it down.
to a biological difference between men and women,
Oh,
which I still don't understand. It doesn't make sense. I started reading the article.
I
I
don't
gave
think
up
I
because
can.
it was.
Well,
it
you
was dumb.
can't expect progress in our like economy and world without diversity.
Yeah,
Exactly.
How can you be so close-minded?
Yeah.
Variety leads to opportunities, and
Mm-hmm.
that just leads to better profit from any business standpoint. Why would you not want more?
Exactly.
To exclude someone out from your business is just losing opportunities.
You're just gonna make a loop of people who have just
Yeah.
always been involved, and you can't really get the wedge for someone who hasn't been in.
Yeah, exactly. And so more lost opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Chip and Joanna Gaines. So
Are those the people from the HGTV series?
yeah. So
Fixer uppers?
Fixer Uppers. I think
Yep.
Joanna Gaines like
I've
wants
watched
to
those shows.
shut out her entire like origins like from Fixer Upper, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like wants to cut it out and like
Why?
I don't know.
Honestly, like
Why?
HGTV, you could watch anything on that show and just be so captivated. Like
Honestly,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
the best.
I've
like-
caught myself late at night not knowing what to watch, and I flip it on. It just says "My Island Life." I'm like, oh, I would totally live there. Like, oh, the house's location's great. It's right by the school. Ooh, okay.
Dude, I
The
also
bus
love like
routes.
those Fixer Uppers. I don't get why she wanted to shut that out. It's
I
like,
know, right?
I mean, that's what got her up there.
yeah,
Why
I
would you-
love shows like that.
That's like just cutting out what made you where you are. It's like forgetting your past. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of past and heritage and stuff, you guys probably heard the recent Trump news.
Ooh.
Oh, which is Trump making it harder to get a green card. Now,
Nah,
understanding that getting a green card is extremely difficult as it is now, why would you try to make it even harder? Like,
I get the security thing. I get the whole like, oh, we want to keep people who are dangerous out of the country. I completely agree with that. Who doesn't?
yeah.
We don't want to be endangered, and we don't want to endanger ourselves. But like
Right.
But again, with that anti-diversity, it's kind of like that closed-minded.
the closed-mindedness of like,
It to them is threatening.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a better way to deal with that than going straight at that kind of topic, like making it harder for everybody to get a
I
green
mean,
card.
we saw this coming. It was
Yeah,
it's President Trump. We kind of
kind of
saw this
expected
coming.
it. I mean, he's been talking about a wall forever, so I mean, if this is coming in, it's
Yeah.
gonna come at some point.
Well, talking about Trump, like, what about this money spent on security for the
Okay.
Trump trips?
So I'm actually kind of ticked off about this because President Trump, like a lot of his campaign was like dissing Obama for like the amount of trips he took to go golfing. What's he been doing? He's
Exactly.
gone so many trips just to go golfing. Like just recently, he was like caught at a wedding, like. He
Yeah.
crashed the wedding.
He crashed the wedding.
And what was he doing? He was golfing. Like,
We paying you to golf, Trump?
yeah, like
I don't think we paying you for that. It shouldn't be.
yeah, it's like
And you got to think of like how much more security he needed than Obama because his approval ratings are at 30%. You know,
so
someone's looking to assassinate, like
just
get assassinated.
just to throw some numbers out there for people who don't exactly know about it. So statistically and like trends are showing he is making his way up to like making $1 billion in just security costs for like his wife just to stay in New York. It's like $300,000 a day or something. It's insane. Like that covers my college tuition.
Yeah, you be throwing money our direction with that
Honestly,
money. Oh,
You guys, we should just move to Canada.
Okay, so yeah.
that's not a bad idea.
So-
I think I actually heard a couple officially moving to Canada because of what's been going on with Trump.
Exactly. Like someone finally did it. I'm like, well, I guess people have done it before, maybe, but
Yeah,
like
maybe
this
not
is the
as
first
big.
announced
Well,
one.
I remember like once Trump got elected, there was a Facebook Live. It was like how the population of Canada going up and the United States
Yep.
going
Going
down.
down, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as soon as I saw that the draft, like the ending and all that stuff, I kind of all right. Well, get my passport,
Get my
collect my
passport.
bags, get some new
Yeah.
traveling bags, and get on the U.S. But I gotta go to college, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. Just wait.
Well,
Just wait.
off the Trump topic, what do you guys like, Netflix or Hulu?
Let me say this: would you rather Netflix and chill, or Hulu and relax?
Netflix.
Netflix and
Netflix.
chill.
Exactly. That has a better ring to it.
Yeah.
That alone, why would you Hulu and relax? Man, granted, Hulu's got some nice TV shows.
Right.
Does.
Yeah.
Like updated TV shows.
They're
Netflix,
more updated than Netflix, but like
But I like the Netflix originals.
Netflix.
exactly.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
so good.
They're really good. Really, really good. Especially one of the movies I love watching is like Jurassic Park and
Oh
stuff.
heck yeah.
So my
Chris
Chris Pratt
Pratt.
being an actor. Chris Pratt.
Well,
Speaking of-
his divorce.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, yeah, Chris.
Divorce.
Divorce.
Divorce?
Ladies.
Me.
Well, I personally don't know that much about Chris Pratt and his divorce. Do you guys know who? I don't even know who's
Anna
married.
Faris.
Anna Faris. What?
Oh.
What
Yeah.
is she an actor too?
Yeah,
Yes.
she was in like Baby Mama.
They've been in a couple movies together, I think.
Oh, that movie's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Never seen that movie. Is it good though?
Yeah.
It's
And,
on
like-
Netflix.
Oh, I guess
okay.
I'll check it out.
Guess-
Oh, yeah.
I bet Hulu doesn't have that movie.
Probably not.
Endorse us,
us.
Netflix, please.
Well, like he travels like too much, and like when they first got married, she was way more famous than he was, and so it's like not what she signed up for, basically.
Oh, okay.
So,
She wants to be above him, or like.
but I would travel for $5 million, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like you gotta imagine like these people are both like big actors. Like of course they're gonna make it. They're gonna have to travel for their work. You
Yeah.
think that they would take that in consideration when they're being married.
Yeah.
Like okay.
It's not like they can be together forever and
Yeah,
like, stay
exactly.
in the
We
same movies
can't
forever.
yeah,
you
we
can't. You can only have so many romantic movies until you
Yeah.
have to split up.
Yeah, it's like okay, we've done like 6 of those. Let's branch off. I'll do my own dinosaur movie, and you go do Baby Mama or whatever.
And like
Uh,
you move like all around, like with that kind of job you have, you know? You're not just staying in a big city, you're going to small towns too.
Which one would you guys rather live in? A big city or a small town?
Small town.
Big
Oh.
city.
I'm kind of split.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
kind of split.
Small town, cause like
We've been in a small town.
yeah, and I
lives.
kind of like
Really?
know
It's so
everyone,
nice.
and I could just like
Well, like that's what I like
don't
about a big
know.
city is you don't know everyone.
Mhm.
no, and then that's the thing, like big city. Yeah,
There's so
I would
much
go either
opportunity
way, I
in a big
guess.
city too.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
You can't get here.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I love De La Juan. I
Except
love it. I love it so much. This is my hometown. I would never be ashamed of where I come from. But man, there's sometimes nothing to do, and it
Yeah.
gets super
Exactly.
boring.
But
the
then
only
it-
thing we can do is like, hey, you want to go to Panera?
Literally, what
Starbucks.
Delavan people do is like, hey, there's nothing to do in Delavan. You want to go to Lake Geneva? And that's
yeah.
where we go.
Yeah.
we
Right,
go to
right.
Lake Geneva to have fun. Which
Yeah,
is
we go to
kind
the
of-
beach, which is
or-
like, yeah.
yeah.
Or like when we have like extra money, we'll be like, hey, you want to take the train down to Chicago?
Oh, yeah.
We're never. Yeah,
never putting money
here.
back into the small business. Oh yeah.
But-
Speaking of not putting money into things, I know dang well I don't buy songs on iTunes anymore.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
no,
tough.
no.
That's
Nope.
tough to use.
$129 for a
Spotify.
song is way too much.
I just
Spotify?
Spotify.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Oh yeah, Spotify. I feel like Spotify is really useful.
It
Like
is.
they even have like a deal for like college students, which if you guys don't know, you should
Really?
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
mean-
gonna hit that up.
Well, I like how you can make your own playlist. Like personally, I like
Oh,
certain
yeah.
songs. You know, like I don't like how I know Pandora came out with like you can pick your own playlist, but
No,
Oh yeah,
I
it's cool
like my
because
own.
yeah, Spotify has like a bunch of different playlists that you can pick from. I usually listen to like Rap Caviar and like Most Necessary, and with those like playlists, they have a lot of new music that Apple doesn't like push. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They
Yeah.
don't. They may have like
It's just like the
playlists.
Billboard.
on
Charts,
it.
like,
Yeah, they have the
top
top charts. Then like
But it's not like something you want to listen to. It's like it's not personalized. to
exactly.
you.
I like Redbone by Childish Gambino, but that song's been
That's a
on.
good
Oh,
song.
yeah.
yeah.
Is overplayed.
It is.
Humble.
Humble.
That's What I Like by Bruno.
Despacito.
That's
Oh, that was good.
No.
It was good, but now it's just
Oh,
too
yeah.
much.
Speaking of too much, do you guys know who Michelle Carter is?
Isn't that the girl that like
Wish I didn't.
convinced her boyfriend to commit suicide?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No.
a very, very
So-
sad story.
That is.
Yeah. Michelle Carter. I don't know the whole story. Say that off the bat. I don't know the whole story, but what I do know is that she convinced her boyfriend to commit suicide. And like
I
Girl.
saw
It's
it.
just- if you're-
Like there was a post about it on Facebook like a while ago, like while we were in school, and I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal because there's a bunch of like stuff on there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's weird to like see like wasn't she like sentenced for
15
yeah.
15
months.
months?
Honestly-
it's not enough.
If you're gonna
Like,
push
that's-
someone to the edge to kill themselves, like you deserve way more than 50.
You're
Yeah.
practically
'Cause that's
murdering them.
that's much more than just
Yeah.
like killing
Right.
someone.
Troy?
That's like
Cher?
torturing.
Troy?
So, I'm weighing in very heavy on this topic because it makes me extremely mad. Because there's no way that she should have got only 15 years. And that's all I'm going to say about
15
that.
months.
Months.
15 months. My bad. That's even worse. I made it sound better than it was. But for those of you who don't know the backstory, I'm going to spare the details because it is bad. But Michelle Carter did have a boyfriend, and she was talking to him the day and the night for multiple times, continuously, about trying to talk him out of suicide. But then one night it got bad, and she told him to do it. And she was giving him directions, and at one point the text messages read that he got out of the car and wasn't going to do it because he got scared, and she told him to get back in the car and kill himself.
It's understandable to
No.
like to be in a relationship with someone like that. Like I know
Like-
I know it's like we can't really understand her perspective because we're not her.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We
And-
don't have the same mindset, and
Yeah.
I don't think we should because that type of
It's
mindset
crazy.
obviously
But, yeah.
It's not right.
it's toxic. It killed someone. It's not like
If you hate someone
Yeah.
that much, you just need to
Yeah,
separate
but
yourself.
it's not even like she hated him.
It was
she
the thing.
She was saying that I love you, and
They
just,
were-
like
yeah,
for
they
your
were-
own good, and
they're-
think like what?
Apparently both of them had their own mental health issues.
Yeah.
And even that in itself is super toxic. And like
It's
she may have
dangerous.
loved him how much she did, but what she did is nowhere near excusable. Should gotten way more than 15 months. And if she stays with this 15 months and gets no more punishment, I view that on the same level as a cop killing a minority with like an unarmed minority and getting come off. They need same situations both. Either they get a lot of time and a little help, or a little time and a lot of help, because people like that are sick and they don't deserve that.
All right, so I think we got a little dark there. Let's like bring back our energy levels and like.
what about
yeah.
let's switch like talking about texting, phones, favorite phone games.
There was a time where I was with the Clash of Clans vibe for a
Same,
little bit.
same.
They came out with Clash
Clash
Royale.
Royale.
I played that and I was like,
I don't
I don't
not that
know.
much.
I don't really play.
Yeah, I mean, I usually just use like
Yeah.
Snapchat on my phone. Like
Same.
I
Yeah.
Snapchat, Twitter, and like
Shout
YouTube.
out.
Basically, yeah, at Trophy1. That's like literally the only platforms I use on my phone. Like I don't really play games anymore. I guess I don't know if that's just me, like
I mean-
quote unquote, growing up, but
I mean,
maybe I just haven't found a game.
Still
that I
like I don't play too often, but like I still love mobile games. It's like
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's like
Oh.
a relaxation from like work on your break. Just like pull out your phone, play like
yeah.
piano tiles.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
remember
piano
that game?
tiles.
I remember
It was
that game.
I
great.
still play that.
I
Or
do
like
too.
Paper.io. Like
Paper.io.
I get so
Oh.
competitive with
I
that.
actually
It's
Oh,
pretty
never even
heated.
played that.
You need to.
You need to.
Like,
you
I
kind of
get
missing
it.
out. Not kind of. You're missing out.
and like those people who made it to 100, I praise you.
It's like God.
Like I also praise the people who have been able to like diet and pull through with it because
Diet?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You can be on
So-
a diet. It doesn't have to be a good diet. So I can be on a diet of just donuts and junk food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been pretty well at that. So I mean, I guess I consider myself being on a diet.
Yeah.
Do you guys think dieting works?
I mean,
I feel like
depends if you're committed.
right, and it's not all about like if okay, let's say you're dieting to lose weight. I don't think it's all about just dieting. You have to like work out too.
You gotta do
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
I
you can't
mean,
just
you
eat
just
less and then.
I guess you could
Eat
like
healthy and
my diet is not eating food. It works. I mean,
It works,
but,
yeah, you
like,
starve yourself, but
Is it a healthy diet?
No, yeah.
Because you see all these fad diets and you know like, oh okay, it's working now, but what is it gonna do a few years down the
yeah.
line?
Yeah,
you
not
know
even
what I
years.
mean?
Like
Yeah.
sometimes it takes months to like actual physical effect and like actually hurt you.
Mhm.
Like, and it'll take years to reverse that. And it's just
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
I mean, dieting can work if done properly. Like, if you get like all the nutrients you need, all the calories you need, don't starve yourself. I mean, please
Don't do
don't
it.
starve
Please
yourself.
don't do it.
That's a terrible diet. And like
Don't find yourself
The
over
quickest
yeah.
results aren't
to-
always the best results.
exactly.
Exactly.
It's a commitment, is what it is.
Yeah.
Invest
It's a lifestyle.
in yourself.
It's a
Invest in
lifestyle.
yourself. Change your life around. Speaking of things that can change people's lives around, how do you guys feel about DUIs? Obviously, probably not good, but
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
So
Just don't do it.
I know some of you guys out there, designated drivers. I'm looking at you.
DDs.
So
thank
yeah.
you. First of all.
Thank you, but get your friends to stop.
Yeah, it's
Like-
not cool. I mean, someone who's personally been affected by a drunk driver impacting my family directly, it's not. Trust me, you think it does. Oh, I don't care about myself. I'll be fine.
It's not
It
just
doesn't.
you.
It does not affect just you. Like people have possibly lost family members because of a decision that you have made, and trust me, from the kids at Kids in the Tank and BizTank as a whole, please don't drink and drive. Please drink responsibly. And if you're under 21, don't drink at all.
True.
Don't do that.
Right.
Speaking of like legal, like
Oh yeah.
DUIs are illegal,
Very
but
illegal.
what about the military draft? Should that be legal?
Okay.
So, me personally, I don't have a exactly high standpoint on the military drafts. Like, I think it should be choice rather than force. Or like, it's like, oh, we're playing the lottery with your lives. Have fun.
Oh yeah.
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 I think like especially if it's a war that nobody wants to be fought. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Oh yeah.
I
Trying to like
understand.
being forced to be a part of a war that you don't feel like is really
Especially like
going
you
on,
look
like-
at history too, like the Vietnam War. People didn't
People
want
didn't
to fight
want that.
that.
No.
Exactly.
People came back from that feeling terrible. Like
Yeah.
not only feeling
PTSD.
terrible.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's just from
That's
any war,
horrible.
PTSD. But like, just people came back from that. There was no praise like World War II,
There was
World War One.
hate.
There was hate. There was literal hate on the veterans that came back from that, and it's not their fault. They
Yeah, they were
came
forced
there.
to- yeah.
So, I mean, some
They were
people
forced to
obviously
fight,
joined
yeah.
just to join because that's patriotic people that praise them. But like, don't force people to do something they really don't want to, especially if it's going to cost them their lives potentially.
Exactly.
Like-
and like
You could
I remember
ruin the next president. Like that guy who got drafted, he could be the greatest like neurosurgeon or
yeah,
you
we're-
know?
he can't do what he does because you have to make him fight a war that people don't necessarily
literally
want to fight in the first
kills
place.
me a little on the inside to know like wars are being fought over like racial, political, or any sort of problem that's happening around the world, and it literally
just
kills me
economical.
inside because I see it as idiotic, and it's like we had wars before for territory is what it was. Like we wanted to
Land, yeah.
expand our land, but like we're past that. We're past that. We need to move on from that. And drafting people into a military that they don't want to be part of, they don't want to fight into, not only just leads to a disagreement between soldiers and their commanders or anything in there, it leads to a disagreement on like their political views, on who they will support, and like it just leads to more like
Even families.
It's almost
Yeah.
barbaric.
it kills diversity.
Right.
It can kill diversity is what it can do, and like what we need more of is diversity and variation, just people, ideas, and like even if those ideas aren't exactly the best or maybe are toxic, for like Michelle Carter, her ideas weren't the best, but like she must have had some good intention. Like we can't just
Yeah.
bash on her all day, but like she must have had some good intention. But the point is, we need to have a good understanding of our political systems, of our like our military, of what we actually need in the United States and maybe across the world. Because the United States has been seen as like a big brother, as someone like who's been keeping an eye on things, and like some people are actually hating the United States because of that. They think of the United States as just barging in where they don't need to be, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
kind of are. And we shouldn't be supporting the draft because of that. Like if you don't want to be part of the military, if you don't want to serve because
You
you're
shouldn't,
scared,
yeah.
you shouldn't.
We also have to like set an example for other countries, you know, like we are like one of the super countries basically, and if we're doing this stuff, like other countries are going to think, well, if it's working for them, it should work for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody all over the world is being forced to be a part of a war that they don't necessarily want to be
Creating
a part of.
armies because they need to support themselves and they need to stand against powers like the United States, which we already have too much.
Oh yeah,
We spend way too much on the military anyway.
we do.
More taxes and like money goes into the military than they do for schools, for like just our homeless shelters, prisons, or anything like that. I'm not saying that like we should put more
Oh,
money
yeah.
into prisons, but like
Oh yeah, I don't feel like any of us are coming from a place of disrespect towards anybody who serves in military.
absolutely
Or
not.
the people who are in military services, but just in general, the government may not be putting the correct money into
Yeah.
the right place.
no, if you serve, we praise you, we thank you, but like
Thank you.
We can't be expected to join a fight that we don't believe in.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening to Kids in the Tank. Make sure to tune in for our fall session starting September 27th.
All right, hope to see you there.
3, 2, 1.
That's
That's a wrap.
To learn more about BizTank and this podcast, check out our website at genevasupply.com/BizTank or head over to our Facebook pages.